Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Ojinika, trying to pepper them.
Oh, goodness gracious. Good morning, Dr.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Okay, pepper us now.
Right? I don't know what that means. Good morning, Tundun. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Great, I'm doing well, thank you. Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Oji, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Can I please explain the meaning of pepper them to you, since you don't know the meaning?
Go on. We're listening.
It means to pepper them.
Right.
Ojinika, pepper them.
Well, you know what?
Pepper them.
Okay, I'm wearing red lipstick, so that works.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, maybe that's the meaning.
Okay, carry on. Okay.
Dr. Abati.
Over to you.
All right. Well, good morning to you viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, fighting back against allegations of bullying, tops the trend. Reactions trailed the Duchess's request that Buckingham Palace share with her any evidence turned up in its investigation into claims that she bullied members of the royal staff. And a video of a violinist paying tribute to Sarah Everard, who went missing while walking home on March 3rd and was later found dead, has gone viral. In the United States, video of world-renowned cellist Yo-Yo Ma giving an impromptu concert in the waiting area of a Massachusetts vaccination site after receiving his second COVID-19 jab has made the rounds. In India, reactions trailed the government's proposal to ban cryptocurrencies and fine anyone trading or in possession of the virtual currency. In Nigeria, despite video evidence, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Idris Wase, has denied blocking petitions from Nigerians in the diaspora.
But out there, at their own comfort, I think they don't have this, the position.
So why do we bother about Nigerians in the diaspora then?
On the spot, after lengthy negotiations, British rivals Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have signed a two-fight deal ahead of the globally anticipated World Heavyweight title fight. Finally, under entertainment, the nominations for the 93rd Academy Awards have been announced, and actress Viola Davis has made history as the most nominated black actress, while 70 women received a total of 76 nominations, breaking the Academy's nomination record for women in any given year.
Thank you to the Academy. Thank you.
Well, let's begin what's trending today in Nigeria. A video of the self-acclaimed former militant leader, Asari Dokubo, declaring himself the leader of a new Biafra de-facto customary government, have made the rounds. Over the weekend, Dokubo announced the formation of the Biafra government and also named those who would serve as leaders. He added that the government will proceed to set up provincial structures, but will, however, not go to war. Instead, will work towards their freedom. The federal government has described the reported formation of the Biafra customary government as a theater of the absurd by a joker seeking attention. Okay, Tunju, over to you. Now, this video has circulated, and I mean, it was really over the weekend that he declared himself the leader of this Biafra government. A lot of people are saying, you know, the government is handling it with levity because I believe Lai Mohammed yesterday addressed journalists and said that he could say whatever he wants. They had more pressing issues to attend to as opposed to, you know, addressing his issue. Now, is it okay for people to just declare themselves as you know, a sovereignty or a government or whatever it is in Nigeria?
According to the laws of the land, it's treason to do that. But I guess the federal government has assessed the threat or the risk and have decided to completely dismiss him, which if I were Asari Dokubo, I'd be most offended, but because they clearly don't take him seriously at all. Because ordinarily, I think you would know how I know this very well. Even if you actually won a free and fair election and you do declare yourself the legitimate president of Nigeria, you get arrested. You get charged with treason, treasonable felony, the whole gamut. And it's punishable with death, actually. It's a very serious offense in the laws of Nigeria. But I guess they've just decided they're not going to give him the... because to arrest him, I guess, would legitimize him and give him some kind of gravitas. And they're deliberately calling him pejoratives such as clown and what have you to stress that they're just not taking him seriously.
Dr. Bati?
Well, what Asari Dokubo has said is that he has declared a Biafra customary government, whatever that means. You know, he's before now, or he was before now, what is the leader of what is called the Delta People's Situation Force. And he's been a very outspoken person, purportedly defending the rights of the Niger Delta people long before now, even since the days of President Olusegun Obasanjo. And now we are confused. He leaves us in a confused state. Where does it stand? Is it Biafra customary government or Niger Delta militancy? Because I mean, it's not given that it's the same cause that the Niger Delta militant groups are fighting, that the Biafra movement is also fighting. So he has crossed from the south-south all the way to the southeast. So it looks like, you know, a kind of revolutionary shopping for forum. And I think that the Minister of Information is well positioned. He has said the right thing to say that this looks like entertainment, and that the federal government of Nigeria would take it as pure entertainment from an irritant, you know, group. Whatever it is that he's talking about, well, it looks like, you know, it looks really funny. What really is a Biafra customary government? And Tunu is right. If you declare a new government under an existing government, is simply treasonable felony. And if the federal government goes further to insist on the law, I hope nobody will expect us to sit here and start defending him. He should be ready to answer for the consequences of his own action. However, the Minister of Information, I think, overreached himself when he used the phrase theater of the absurd. Many people use it anyhow, you know, thinking that this is a fanciful phrase. But for us, you know, in our own background, this is an academic category, you know, defined in 1960 by Martin Exlin. And it refers to a cultural situation after the Second World War and the writing that emerged in Europe with Samuel Beckett, Adamov, Jean Genet, and you know, other writers at that time, including Eugene Ionesco.
Okay, Dr. Bati.
Now, but everybody uses the phrase in a fanciful manner, but you do not really understand the meaning of it. But I think, you know, the Minister of Information probably had that phrase somewhere, and he too has used it. But it doesn't quite relate to the ludicrous situation that he's trying to describe. But that's pedantic, so I'll leave it.
All right, Dr. Bati. Rufai, your take on the story.
You see, when I look at things like this, I get shocked. And I look and I say, what is Asari Dokubo looking for again? We remember how he started under Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. We remember how they got concessions, you know, to develop the Niger Delta. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think he even has a university to train militants. He got good contracts. So what is happening? The polity is already inflamed in this country. Let's not inflame it any further. This is against the law. And you know why it looks very funny to me is the fact that you said something very treasonable. You're saying, no, I don't want violence, I just want to declare. It's not possible. In Asari Dokubo's words, you're not fit. It's not possible. There's an existing government on ground. Do we have challenges? Yes. But is this the way about it? No. You can't declare another government when you have an existing government. So in his own words, you're not fit. It's not possible. And let's stop giving people ideas. That's the part I don't like. Because the minister has come out to say, yes, it's laughable and everything and all of that. But with this, he has just given a couple of other people other ideas. Let's not inflame the polity. This is the one country we have, and we must do everything to protect it. Are we perfect? No. Are there challenges? Yes. Can we walk through these challenges? We can come together and walk through them if we're truly sincere. Have we been sincere? No. Can we walk that path of sincerity? Yes. But let's not inflame the polity because we want to, show face. What is Biafra customary something? Looking for another buzzword, putting yourself out there and saying this so that you want to be part of the narrative. It's now become a circus show. We forget children are watching. Is this the future we want to leave for them? Asari Dokubo, stop it. Stop it.
Thank you, Rufai. We'll take another story. A video of a woman who discovered that a fueling station in Ogun State used water instead of petrol to fill their customers' fuel tank has made the rounds on social media.
Everything, all the tank, everything, water. Jesus! Water, everything, water. Everything, water.
Yes, now.
Please, do it, let me see. Do it. Do the video. See, water. Water, see, water. What are you saying? They're not going to see water.
Show the name.
Well, in a statement released by the fueling station, the management said the incident was as a result of an overflow of water into one of the station's storage tanks due to recent rainfall. It also stated that measures are being taken to address the issue and their technicians are already attending to the affected vehicles. I mean, if you had seen this video, there was also parked right by the fueling station a car that was already damaged. It couldn't move. I mean, that statement to me just seems like an excuse. I don't understand how water can get into, a tank and then it becomes water instead of fuel. Really ridiculous.
Water and oil don't
mix.
No,
it never mixed. And it did seem like clear water. Yes. You could see that.
It makes no sense to me. It's completely unacceptable. And I just think the woman who actually shot this video should be commended for this. This kind of expose is so important. People should know. And I wonder what is the level of damages that has happened to people's cars before this lady came and, blew the whistle here. It's really completely unacceptable. And that statement doesn't even cut it as far as I'm concerned. It cannot possibly explain what's going on here.
Well, I think that the owners of the vehicles should go and sue them because even though they are making, repairing the cars, I don't think that's enough to,
I don't think so either. It's terrible.
Yeah, so, but Dr. Abati, before I take your comment, I guess we'll have to go on a short break. And when we return, what's trending on the morning show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show. We're still on what's trending. Dr. Abati, I'd love your comment on the last story we discussed.
Talking about the 5 Beams petrol station in Abeokuta. That's where it is, where a lady took that video after being served water instead of petrol. Now, that particular station, when I saw that video, I mean, my heart skipped several beats because I bought fuel at that same station on Sunday morning, and I panicked a little bit. Now, I'm not a spokesperson for 5 Beams, but that particular station, you will recall, if you get into Abeokuta from the Lagos end, it's right at the beginning of Moshood Abiola Way, to your left. Opposite it is the NNPC station. Now, that station, where it is now, it used to be further down, but because of the road construction, it was demolished. And then this is a brand new station. And I guess, they may be having challenges trying to sort out, the effectiveness of the new structure that they are put put up. But that's not an excuse. I'm not explaining for them. But the fact that they have said that any vehicle, anybody that bought fuel there and has problems with their vehicles, that they would help to repair it, shows that there is an absence of malice. It shows good faith. It shows good consideration. It means that, look, they didn't deliberately serve people water. So I hope that the management of the petrol station will take the additional step of correcting whatever problems they are now having with that particular station. That, in my view, is what is important. But definitely, anybody who bought water for fuel will be truly disturbed. But it happens. Sometimes you just see, you go to any fuel station, and they have given you water instead of a fuel, and then it can destroy the vehicle.
I mean, it can spoil the engine.
Right. So it's not something that you really can live with. So every petrol station has what is called in law, or is it in tort, the law of tort, the duty of care.
Tort. Which is what I was saying earlier.
Law of tort. To make sure that you exercise that duty of care.
Yes.
That whatever service you offer at any time to the customer, to the consumer, that it is the very best. So that's why I said I'm not in a position to make excuses for them. But they've shown good faith by saying that they are ready to make to provide restitution.
Yeah, other people will say they have no choice.
I've never actually heard of water.
Yes.
No, it happens. It happens. It happens.
This is my first time.
Yes, yes.
Rufai, your take on the story?
I mean, I think Dr. Atunda has said it all, so I'd like us to move forward on this. But if you want me to say something, I'll just say real quickly, they should do what's right. Compensate those people, because the damage can be very immense to cars, especially newer model cars that are very, very sensitive. They should do what's right, take care of that car, and they should be very careful about water. Some people it comes from the building, really. How they build their tanks. Some of them don't take care in building their tanks, and water can seep in. So that's just it. Real quickly. So, Audrey, you can move on.
We'll take our final story. Reactions has trailed the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-OLU, who on Monday signed into law a 21-year jail term for anyone found guilty of engaging in cultism-related activities. The anti-cultism law, which repealed the cultism prohibition law of 2007, provides for more stringent and punitive measures. It also stipulates a 15-year jail term for anyone found guilty of abetting cultists, including punishment for parents of cultists found guilty of cultism. Some Nigerians have shared mixed reactions. We'll take a tweet from Azozo, who wrote, "I'm wondering why no one is asking who a cultist is as defined by law, and what is unlawful societies. Already, innocent people are being branded. Now, a 21-year jail term without a basic definition of who a cultist is, the damage this will do." Now, I think that this is such an important question. What is a cultist? How do you differentiate a cultist from a bandit? Tunjun.
I actually don't think it's such an important question, because if you've read any single law in this country, we're not that bad. We will never be that bad.
What do you mean?
To fail to define an offense.
Right.
It will be there in black and white. So the question will not need to be asked. If you look at the law, it will be there. There is no way. I mean, we all talk about the collapse in standards, but we will never fall that far. It will be defined quite clearly. Now, your question about the difference between
a cultist and a bandit. That's what I was asking.
For me, the word bandit has just been used to compare to everybody else. It's used interchangeably with kidnapper, used interchangeably with terrorists. It's all completely different. What this means, this cultism law, is more directed at the activities of students and youths, which is why there's that, which I find awful provision of punishing their parents. I don't see why a parent should be punished for what their child does, but it's to do with youth, because in Nigerian universities, there has been a cultism problem. So what tends to happen is that people are, well, some people willingly join, but quite often some people are also threatened and coerced into joining what they call cults, they're gangs, on different campuses in Nigeria, and they go around committing crimes as part of their initiation, and they get into fights with rival cults. It can end up actually resulting in capital offenses like murder. So this 21 years will not apply to that. That would be a life sentence if you actually kill somebody. So these are the cults and secret societies that are also referred to in the Constitution. If you've been in one in university and your fans have been in one, you cannot run for elective office in this country. If your university finds you guilty of joining a cult, even if you did not commit a capital offense, you will be rusticated from that university. It's a very grave offense, joining potentially violent groups. Not all of them are, and not every individual within them are, but there is that tendency, especially when they have their cult clashes. So it's completely different from terrorism in the sense that there is not that ideological bent where they're trying to, like a Boko Haram, for example, fighting against Western education and wanting that to apply to everybody.
Yeah,
that's
a complete terrorist.
Yes. So that's different.
Terrorism is different, right? So, but the question is out there. The bandits also could be cultists. So how do you even...
No, maybe because they're not operating as youths within an educational system.
Most of them are.
No, bandits are not operating.
I've heard.
Then the forest.
I've heard some of those. Some of the bandits.
That definition is important.
Right.
There are many states of the Federation that have come up with similar laws,
right,
saying that belonging to a cult is a crime. And if you look at the criminal code, Criminal Code talks about membership of a secret society,
53,
which you can also
53.
say is about occultism, which is not allowed, particularly with regard to public persons. And this became an issue when in 1999, after the presidential election, Olufalaye went to court to challenge President Obasanjo's victory on the grounds that at that time that President Olusegun Obasanjo was a member of the Ogboni cult. So it's something we're very familiar with, Olufalaye versus Olusegun Obasanjo at that time, but what came out of it. Now, in many of these, laws that have been put up, domesticated in the states, what exactly is the issue? That's why I say the definition is important.
Yes, I think
Are they talking about
very
student
important.
cultism?
Right.
Students joining cults and then saying, okay, if you join a cult, you go to jail for 20 years, or whoever allows his or her building to be used for purposes of cultism will also go to jail for 15 years. I think this may well end up, really, as one of those dead laws, like the law on bigamy, which is a dead law in Nigeria.
That's another point.
Because the question to raise is, okay, this particular law, will it extend to the Oshugbo, to the Ogboni, to the Azigidi, to the Ekpe, to the Ekpo? You know, and even the people who are
read the law, and then you will know. There's no way it's not in the law.
The people making the law, the people making the law themselves, are they as innocent as they are making out? But you are right. You know, we need to read the document.
You have to read the document
to be sure what it exactly applies to. But there is existing law about membership of secret societies, but who has ever enforced it in Nigeria?
Oh, Rufai, I don't think you have time to take your comment.
In a funny way, I will start from you, Oji, and Dr. Abati. The thing you are always talking about, saying inside baseball, is a secret cult.
Okay! Rufai, you are awesome.
Anyway, thank you very much, Ojinika.
Can you imagine we're cultists now?
We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.